Hello, everyone. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Vergeria Life Podcast with Theo Olele. And today we have an amazing guest. We have a special guest. She is a mindfulness teacher. She's doing an amazing work in her space. And today she's going to be sharing her life, her journey, what inspires her, challenges that she has faced in her journey. Because we all know that in life, in business, in everything we do, there are challenges. Today she's going to be sharing these challenges, sharing her life and how she overcame these challenges and so much more. But before we start, take your time to like this video because when you like this video, we are going to be able to reach more people in our community. And do not forget to subscribe to our channel for more exclusive interviews like this. Today, we have Nina Bogdan on the Vergeria Life Podcast. Nina, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. Great to be
Yes,
here.
it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. So, for someone meeting you for the first time, how would you explain the kind of work you do besides the roles and the title?
That's a great question. Well, I had and still have a pretty colorful life. I transitioned from fashion for 25 years, and now I'm teaching mindfulness and meditation. And there's a reason for that because I personally encounter uh, a lot of challenges on the way, and I was looking for ways how to stay connected to myself, how to balance work, family, my passion, and I was struggling with anxiety and some different kind of mental challenges, and I was looking for a way to feel happy, fulfilled, and live a meaningful life. So that's how I got into meditation and mindfulness. And when I got there, it's literally changed my life. I was so inspired that I decided to dedicate my life to helping others on their ways to live fulfilled and happy, joyful, hopefully purposeful life.
Hmm. That's really amazing. So, what did mindfulness? How did it shift from something that you teach to something that you truly know?
Say this again, please.
When did mindfulness shift from something that you teach to something that you truly know? Like from something that you teach now to now becoming your everyday life. Because some people, you can be a teacher of something, but you might not really have it like in in your everyday life. So how did it go from something that you teach to becoming something that is not part of your everyday life, your everyday routine?
Yeah, well, for me, I only can teach something that I personally experience. I'm not the theoretical teacher. I'm a more experiential. So everything that I first try on myself and then I can offer to others. So mindfulness is a big, big part of my life, something that I personally practice every day. So meditation is non-negotiable. I have my morning practice. I have practices that I'm doing throughout the day. And I just saw over time how impactful it was. And it actually didn't take a lot of time to see the results. And then, as I was saying, seeing how I've changed over first short period of time, but then it's accumulated over the years. I can now say that I stand for what I teach, and I'm not teaching. Here's the thing: I'm not teaching anything. It's not a woo-woo, any kind of method, or actually, I'm teaching a ancient technology, something that has have been with us for thousands of years. So I'm just, a vessel that is translating teachings that I learned from a master teacher. And I just feel like in our modern society, we need to remember simple truth that I'm here to hopefully remind other people.
Absolutely. So when you started your journey, because every journey has challenges,
Yeah.
most especially in the even even when you're successful, you go through challenges. But the beginning challenge is always very intense. You know what I'm saying? So when you started your journey as a mindfulness teacher and coach, what were some of the challenges you faced, and how were you able to overcome these challenges?
Yeah, that's a great question. I do believe that many people who are now healers, therapists, coaches, mentors, teachers are started that journey with experiencing their own challenges. And if you will talk with any person, everyone has their own experience, everyone has their own journey, their own story. And when you start listening to other person's story, you will understand like, wow, it's really profound. So I also had my experience multiple experiences. And as I was saying, I was working in fashion as a model for many years, but then I was never kind of felt fulfilled in that space and start to explore what else I can do. And 10 years ago, I started to working on my startup a business that I wanted to do, which is also in fashion. It was a sustainable fashion marketplace that I really was passionate about sustainability and knowing that fashion is the second, maybe the first now a polluted industry in the world. So that kind of pushed me into this direction to what can I do, how can I help, how can I make an impact. And I was working on that for a few years. Literally, it was kind of dedicated all my time and energy into that. And after a few years, unfortunately, I lost everything. And that sent me into this dark place, if you will, the dark night of the soul, some people can say. I spiraled. I had panic attacks, a lot of anxiety, depression. And that was the moment when I had to really slow down. Actually, not only slow down, but stop everything I was doing. I lost all my money. I lost my home, and I'm also single mom. So it was a pretty tough moment of my life, and it forced me to start looking around and looking for holistic ways of healing myself. At that time, I remember I went to the doctor, psychiatrist. My primary doctor sent me to psychiatrist, saying like, I think you're going to be benefited. And psychiatrist prescribed me medications, which I was on for 6 months, I believe. And that was not a great experience for me. So I didn't feel great. I was feeling numb instead of feeling my feelings, feeling my pain, going through my experience. I was in a space where I was just kind of watching my life passing by without participating, without changing anything. And I realized that that's not how I want to live my life. That's not the way how I want to deal with my internal experience. So I started to experiment and asking people, what can I do, And that was the moment when I found meditation, when I found yoga, when I found sound therapy and breath work and many other modalities. And that was the beginning, that was the door for me to exploring my own inner world. I can go on, but that was 10 years ago, and since then many things changed. I can tell that I feel way different right now at this moment.
Wow, that's amazing. I like the fact that your journey is really inspiring, obviously, and the fact that you had so many difficult experiences. You had but you turned those experiences to positivity. You didn't some people allow what they go through or what they feel weigh them down, but you turn that experience into something positive now, and so now start teaching people how to be mindful, how to be focused, how to ignore the noise and stuff like that. Now we live in a world that is full of noise,
Yes,
full of so much noise.
yes.
So how does somebody actually in the world full of noise now? How do you actually block out the noise, block out the distraction? How can you actually really, really concentrate and focus in the world full of disturbance, noise, and chaos?
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you. Sorry, I'm a little sick. Coming out of the week of cold. Well, there's many things you can do, but there's the simple things that you can do it right now, which doesn't take a lot of time and a lot of effort. First, you have to be aware of that. That's the first step. Awareness always is the first step, and that's something I'm teaching as well. Mindfulness and meditation teaches awareness. So you have to be aware of that. We're bombarded with information 24/7. We now have a device in our hands that is deliver us news nonstop, and unfortunately, many of us just mindlessly consuming information, not even understanding what they're consuming, and that directly impact our mental health. So, what I would say, if you ask me what you can do right now, I would say I would implement few simple rules. One is when you wake up in the morning, don't look at your phone right away. Just please don't. Give yourself a favor. Have at least an hour of your own time, and just I don't know, sit in silence. Do whatever you. It doesn't have to be one thing. You can design your own personal practices. What you're gravitating towards. Some people, doing mindful. Movement, yoga or stretching or something like that. Some people meditating, some people singing, or maybe there's a mantra or prayer that you like. So have an intentional morning, and start day with that would impact your day so much. That's something that I would implement right away. Second very, very simple practice that I recommend to all my clients is to do intentional pauses throughout the day. You can again come up with some kind of reminders or cues, and because the thing is, we're moving so fast in our modern life. I live in New York, and it's just nonstop. I have to come up with something that I'm not again only living and operating autopilot, but I actually stop, pause, even 30 seconds, 60 seconds would be amazing. When you just can take a deep breath, feel into your body, look around, feel the air on your skin, listen to the sound, connect with yourself, and just like, okay, how I'm feeling right now, and how would I like to move forward to the next moment of my life, of my day. So that's, it sounds very simple, but actually when you start practicing those pauses, you will feel the change right away as well. And, I love practices and tools that are so simple but very impactful. Simple practice, big impact. This is just one of the couple of these things, and I will probably add just to round this. An evening is the same thing. You don't look at your phone, you don't scroll until 2 a.m. Ideally, I mean, I know we're all guilty of that. It's hard not to. But if you care about your mental health, if you care about your sleep, especially if you have an anxiety, I would say put your phone an hour again before you go to sleep. Read the book, or listen to the sound, listen to the nice sound. That you will feel next morning differently, and your sleep will be better.
Absolutely, I absolutely agree with you. And even like what you said now, I apply it to my daily life. What I do is that when I wake up in the morning, by even when I wake up in the morning, the moment I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do, I take my phone, I put my phone on DND.
Mm-hmm.
I put it on DND because I don't want to get any notifications or any calls. I just go out, take a walk for like an hour or two.
Yeah.
Go out, take a walk. I forget about what is happening in the world. I don't want to take any calls because sometimes this thing can impact your day and it can just mess up with your day. So what I do is I just forget about my phone. Even when I come back from the work, I take a shower, I start
Yeah.
working. Maybe from like noon, I can now maybe on my break. I don't have breakfast. So when I'm having my break, I just go and just just check if I have any important notification on my phone. If it's not important, I just drop it back. I have my meal. I'm back to work. So that really helps me a lot. And you also talked about
Can I just say a
putting your
couple
phone.
one thing here, because
Okay.
you touched something very important.
Yes.
Uh, in our culture, in the hustle culture, also in the midst of one of the biggest technological kind of revolution, AI revolution right now, it's so easy to be on your phone all the time. But actually, we can control that, right? As you said, we can put I don't have notification on my phone. I don't have sound on my phone. It's like I'm trying to not I'm not missing on anything, but you can put some system in place so you're not being tempted always to be on your phone. And another thing you mentioned is really, really important. You want to move your body. It's so important to move your body, to go outside, to walk, no matter where you are. And unfortunately, we've been programmed in the way that, the rest right now feels like, oh, I'm lazy, I'm not doing anything, I have to be productive, I have to do. But actually, if you look at the science of it, when we rest, when we take a break, that's where our inspiration, that's where our creativity comes in. We need that time. We need to restore, to be able to be even more productive than we were before. So I think that part needs to be reframed for sure. For sure. I'm feeling like I'm this French president right now. There's a lot of memes about it.
No, but it's cool actually. It's really amazing. I'm actually enjoying the conversation with you. It's really nice. It's really nice, and it's flowing very good as well. And there's one thing that you said, so that I would try to employ in my life as well. Not having notification on your phone, no sound notification. Because at the end of the day, like you said, we are not really missing on anything.
Yeah.
We are not missing on anything. So
Yeah, well,
that's really
technology is designed. It's crazy to
yeah.
me, like Instagram, for example. We're all on Instagram, we're all on social media right now. That's the part of our lives. And it's constantly sending you notification, like even outdated notification that it wants you to come back. It always wants your attention. We're living in attention economy right now. So you want to be aware of that and not let this to kind of come in and suck you into that kind of behavior. So I would suggest to just become more and more aware where you put your energy, how you spend your time.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now there's something I'm curious about. A lot of people are actually chronically busy or chronically overwhelmed. They're chronically tired and or overwhelmed with life and what's happening in them. What do you think is happening beneath these experiences with these people or with
Beneath,
people that are
you said beneath.
beneath what do you think is happening beneath these experiences with these people that are actually very overwhelmed
Oh
and
yeah,
very busy?
sure. I mean, what I think is beneath of everything is a fear, and with that it comes a lot of anxiety and stress. We live in an unprecedented times. There's a lot going on in the world, in every country almost. We're talking about politics, we talk about climate, we talk about technologies that are coming right now. So there's a lot to be aware of, and also that brings a lot of anxiety, stress, and fear as well. So that's what I think is beneath, and unfortunately I don't see how it's gonna go away. Actually, I think it's just gonna be more and more. So practicing, to me, that's why I decided to dedicate my life to mindfulness and meditation, because I think we just really really need to start taking care of ourselves and our mental health to be able to live in this time consciously and healthy, physically and mentally.
Now, absolutely, absolutely. But how does inner awareness, you know, how it shapes you in the way you respond to stress, uncertainty, and doubt?
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you. So when you become aware of your thoughts, when you become aware of your emotions, of your body signals, that's the language that you want to hear. Your body holds so much wisdom, and if you're able to connect to yourself, know yourself enough to see those signs, signals early on, you will act on that. You will see when you're tired, you will see when you're overwhelmed, you will see the signs of the stress, the signs of the anxiety, and you can take action. You can make a choice. You can say, you know what, I don't think I'm going to do this next task. I just need to slow down right now, or maybe I need to call my friend, or maybe I need to go for a walk, or maybe I need to, hug my pet, or whatever it is helps you in that moment. And that awareness again is just on the long term helps you to deal with all the challenges that you will experience. It all starts
Hmm.
from the cuisine. The thing is, we are looking for um, solving our issues and problems from outside, but actually it's all inside us.
Wow. That's brilliant. It's about the mind. It's about your mindset. It's about
But
your mentality.
I would say body, mind, spirit connection.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Wow. Body mind spirit connection. That's really interesting. So now, how has mindfulness? How has it helped you? Can you share a moment in your life where mindfulness has helped you navigate a difficult moment in your life or transition that you were facing in part of your life?
It's every day. It's literally every day. I'm not even joking. It's not
Well,
something that I'm practicing once in a month and when I have a hard moment. Or the thing is, at least in my life, and I'm sure many people's life, when you wake up in the morning, you don't know what day will hold for you. You can plan things, you can plan, all day long, but actually life will happen, and you want to be ready for it. So I have, I live a normal life. I have challenges every day. Lots of things come up unexpectedly. And what mindfulness gives me is this opportunity to meet life exactly, like seeing life exactly for what it is, and meet with ideally compassion, kindness, love, and forgiveness for myself and for others. So that's kind of a broad stroke, but I practice every day. I mean, sometimes I don't know, things come up. A couple of days ago, something happened, and I was just sitting there. I was like, okay, let me just pause for a moment. Let me be with it. Let me just be with it and feel into it. What does that actually mean? How do I feel about it? Should I respond on this, or should I maybe change my course right now? And over time, what's beautiful about it, you start making a decisions that will bring you to the point where you're happy with your life. And I found this working with people, and now in my life too. Sometimes you are in a place in your life and you're not happy, and you're just sitting there and thinking, how I ended up there, like what's here, how I ended up here, what's happened, like, and you look back and you're realizing that you made a serious decision that led you to where you're at right now. But being mindful means actually that you will take one step at a time, and often I find the decision that you make is bringing you to a better place.
it's not easy actually because sometimes when we get in that moment, because we are human beings, you know, sometimes we get in that moment and you get in your feelings and you just, so it's difficult sometimes to be composed. Not everybody, you know, like it's difficult sometimes when you're in that difficult moment. Sometimes it's difficult to be mindful and say, you know what, pause, think, relax. Sometimes we just act out of impulse.
Yes,
Sometimes, and
often.
it's it's, it's not easy. At all. It's not
It's
easy,
not.
but
It's not easy. I totally get that. And another thing that I like to practice and um, teach is everything is there's no right or wrong. Everything that you get in life is experience. There's no such thing as a mistake. It's a learning experience. And if you did something and you're not happy with what you did, how you handle things, learn from it. Again, just pause, think about it, and learn from that. And next time you will do it better, most likely, hopefully. So there's no
yeah,
reason to be upset about, oh, I didn't, I reacted, or I made a wrong choice, or, I spoke with this person and I'm not proud of myself right now. It's okay. That's where I would say forgive yourself, learn from it, and move forward with being more wiser, hopefully.
absolutely. I love what you said about failure because your failure makes you better. The more if you when you fail, you learn from it, you improve, and that's what I mean. I always say that as human beings, we should always don't be scared to fail. If you fail,
Yeah.
you learn from it,
Failure.
you
Yeah.
improve again.
It's actually, I reframe failure for myself some time ago. I don't think there's such thing as a failure. It's actually a gift. If you're able to see it as a gift, life life becomes very different. The game is very different. Everything becomes a goal, if you will. It might not look that way in the moment. It might not feel that way in the moment. But actually, when you look back, I had this conversation with a very close friend of mine, asking for an advice, and he was sharing with me. He said one of the few of the most biggest failures in my life, when I look back, actually was the biggest gift. And I totally feel that way. Totally feel that way. You have to trust. You have to trust that life is happening not to you. Life happens through you, for you. And if you are presented with certain opportunity that doesn't feel great at this moment, there's something to learn from it, for sure. For sure. Oh my God, the phrase.
Right. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. So, at this stage of your life now, what does living with intention mean to you?
Living with intention. Oh, um, for me, living with intention is I wake up every morning, and as I said, I have my morning routine. And one of the questions that I ask every day, what's the intention for today for myself? You know, and I set the intention for the day every day. It's different. Not every day, every day the intention is different. And then I keep that intention in mind. It's always with, and when I go through my day, and again, when I meet my reality, if you will, I can remember my intention. For example, intention: can I be kind to myself today, or can I be kind to others today? And I remember my intention, and that intention guides me. It determines my actions, and then I look back, uh, and I can say that I live with intention. That's what it means for me. Not actually that complicated, if you think. It doesn't have to be
Yeah,
any grandiose.
absolutely. So now, there's something that I was just thinking about now when you say what you said now. I think as human beings, most of the time, we're always very obsessed with achievement,
Yes.
as I'm obsessed with external things that we achieve. But as a person, when you don't want to look at those things, what do you look at instead? Instead of thinking about your achievement, what you've achieved, what I've done in my life, I won so many awards, you've done so well in your career. What do you look at instead of looking at those external achievements?
Can you say this one more time? Can you rephrase a little bit so I can?
Okay.
How do you look at achievement?
Human beings, we are always obsessed with our achievements. We're
Yes.
always obsessed with what we've achieved and those other things. So when those things are not in the picture, what are we supposed to look at? What are we supposed to look up to when there's no achievement in life or there's no achievement in your career?
When there's no achievement, I don't know. It's hard to imagine life without achievements right now. As I said, we're living in a hustle
Yeah.
culture, and I live in New York, in United States. The
Yeah,
culture.
okay. Let me just repeat the question. Sometimes people you've achieved a lot of things in life as a
Yeah.
person, and it gets to a time that those achievements doesn't feel fulfilling to you anymore,
Yes.
right? I've done this, I've done that. What is there to do? So when you're in that place in your life when your achievement doesn't feel fulfilling to you anymore, where do you look to get that fulfillment?
Yeah, you look inside. you you definitely look inside. You turn around your attention 360 and just look straight inside. Or that's what you are missing. And the truth is, so many people I met that are highly achieving people, and they're very unhappy inside. And that's where I would say, okay, well, achievements just just achievements will not make you happy. That's not what brings you happiness. You know, meaningful life, purposeful life brings you happiness when you live your life not only for yourself, but actually for others. That's where you find fulfillment, happiness, joy. And if you're not happy with your life, you have to look inside and see what is there that's asking for your attention that you need to listen, and what is your calling? What is your gift here? What you came here for? And start acting on that. That will bring you more fulfillment than any success, any tangible material achievement.
Absolutely. What what role does vulnerability plays in someone's personal development?
Not sure I understand the question.
What role does vulnerability, like when you're vulnerable, what role does vulnerability play in your personal development? What does it play in personal
Oh,
development?
ah, that's such a great question. Vulnerability is became a big part of my life lately. You know, vulnerability and authenticity, especially. Um, I think it's the greatest power, honestly. To me, it's the greatest power. It's not easy. You know, we're all being told to act certain way, look certain way. You know, that's the cultural norms. But what we're missing is actually being ourselves and being vulnerable. That's what creates connection instead of separation. And yeah, it's literally, you know, being connected to yourself and to others. It's the greatest power.
Absolutely. I actually love that question. It's just like the power like you have. I feel like we have power obviously as human beings to actually be in control of our emotions and be in control of how we feel and be in control of what we do. So for someone like you who has worked with so many clients, obviously you have people that you teach, you coach and stuff like that. First of all, it's two in one question. The first one is how have you ever had a moment with a very difficult clients that you've coached that you know you have clients like when you try to teach coach them and they don't just get it, they just don't want to get it. They feel like this is not how it's supposed to be. How were you able to deal with that kind of clients? And also too, the second question is that I interviewed somebody last year. She's a coach as well. She said that everybody is a coach in 2025. Now you go on social media,
Yes.
there's a coach on mental health, there's a coach on mindfulness, there's a
Yeah.
coach on physics. There's so many coaches now in the world. So what makes you unique? What distinguishes you from every other person in the coaching world? That's it.
No, that's a great question. Well, let me just answer the first part is I did have clients who I didn't feel like we're a good fit. And I believe, you know, I had amazing teachers, luckily, that taught me early on that not every person is your person, not every client is your client, and you also as a mentor, teacher, therapist, you're not also for everybody else too. So you don't have to be afraid of that. It's okay. We're all different. And if you see that you work with a client and there's no resonance, I always refer people to another coaches or another mentor that I know. It's okay. I just, you know, I want to help. I'm not here to just, I don't know, make money or whatever it is. I want to help. And if I feel that I'm not being helpful, that's just waste of my time and energy, and it's just not going to be helpful for another person. So I'm usually refer people to another specialist if I see that. And what was the second part? Sorry.
Yeah. The second part is I said I interviewed somebody last year and she said that everybody is a coach.
Everybody. Coach.
2025. So
Well, you know, in from one hand, I like that people now exploring their potential, exploring their gifts, and they feeling that they want to help, and you know, they trying to do this. I'm not in a position to judge. I don't want to. I just want to make sure that I'm doing a good job, and you know, I'm helpful. So I'm still, you know, after years of studying, working with people, and I'm still in school. You know, I'm doing my PhD right now. I'm still feeling sometimes an imposter syndrome. That's like, oh my God, how can I help? What can I do? But the truth is, you have to just do it. You have to do it, and every time you become better and better. So this is my way. I'm constantly studying. I'm constantly not only studying, I'm also constantly working on myself, because me as a person coming into play space with another person and interacting, I am directly affecting that person. My state, my energy is also impacting that person. If I'm coming to the space, I don't know, full of my issues, and I'm trying to tell you how to live your life. I'm not saying I'm perfect, I'm clean or anything like that, but at least I'm striving to be better every day and approach my work from kind of different perspective, inner and outer too. And I don't know about other people. I think you have to have discernment, and I also think every person will resonate, with a different teacher. There's no one teacher for one. There's no one method for one. There's no one teaching for one for everybody. So you have to find. I actually see this a lot with my friends and just people around me. I can say something, and I can see it's not landing. It just doesn't kind of resonate. But they could hear the same thing from another person who might be, I don't know, like doing a different thing or more qualified, less qualified. I don't know, but they somehow connect to that person, and as long as the message is passed through and it's helpful, I think that's all matter. I just don't like when people harm other people consciously, especially consciously. A lot of time unconsciously, but I don't know how to prevent that. I think we just, again, it's, you have to be aware, you have to have discernment, you have to know yourself at least a little bit to understand who you connecting with. Can you learn about this person who you want to learn from? Sometimes I see people taking advice or taking courses from other people who didn't walk the talk, but like it's in your power to do the research to understand, is this person the right person to teach what they teach.
When you do something for a very long period of time consistently, you become better at it. You become great at it. For example, you're recording a podcast every day, every day, every day, every day. You learn, you improve, you
Yes.
get better, you do well, and that's the way it is for sure. That's the way it is for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, you become what you practice. That's for sure. It's on physical level and mental level as well. I always give this analogy to people I work with, that we're kind of doing a mental gym. We all know about physical health, and we all trying to be very healthy, and we exercise almost every day, but for some reason people don't think about exercising their minds, their awareness, which is pretty powerful and vital, I want to say.
I agree. I agree. So, how do you balance being a mom? Because you said you're a mom. How do you
Hmm.
balance being a mom, a coach, and your personal? How do you create a balance for yourself?
Yeah. um, one step at a time. Again, I don't want to pretend that I am a perfect superhuman here. Every day is different. I do have my priorities for sure, and my daughter is number one priority. She is. I prioritize my relationship with her over than everything else, and that's where I put my energy first. And then everything else, and I'm doing. I also love my work. I want to grow as a person, and I do this simultaneously. So, it's, again, every day is different. Some days I feel happy and inspired by the way how it went and how I dealt with certain things, and some days I'm like, I wish I did it differently. But she's 17 right now, so she's pretty independent, and now we kind of going through this transitional moment in time in life where she's leaving for college. That's sad, very sad for me. So that forces me to be even more present right now with her and being at home more, knowing that she's going to leave soon. So I want to take this time with all my life for my work and for my studies. I always, there are moments when she comes to me in the evening times, and I'm, for example, reading or doing some work. I'm just putting everything aside, and I'm being fully present with her, because I know it's not going to last for a long time. And I always will catch up with my work. This is a balance for me, but obviously you can create, you can design your own balance. And I saw something recently that balance is actually just about balancing. There's no such a thing as a balance. I don't know how to balance. It's like I always feel like I'm just trying to trying. And again, to me, it's all about awareness. Sometimes I feel like, oh, I went too far, and then I come back and I kind of like regroup myself and like, okay, what is important? And when you slow down enough to see that you actually, okay, I want to come back, I want to do these things more than I do these things, and you can always kind of start make a little bit of changes to go into direction that you want. It's yeah, every day kind of recalibration.
Absolutely, and that's quite a great balance, like you said. It's not really easy because every day comes with different challenges and different ways, and you have to get through with it. And I think you're doing an amazing job. You're doing an amazing job so far because I've seen your work, I've seen what you're doing, and what you're doing is really exceptional and really really amazing. And I'm super happy that we're having this interview. So, one final question I have now is, what advice would you give to somebody right now that is overwhelmed, that is down, that is looking up for inspiration to get back on track with their lives and their
Mhm.
mindfulness?
A great question. I would say don't be hard on yourself. That's the first. Be kind to yourself and realize that it's okay to be in that place. We're all humans and we all experience that. You're not alone in this. We all probably multiple times a day feeling that way. I would cut the distractions, and I would really suggest to start be focusing more on yourself and what's inside you, instead of focusing on outside world, because that's what makes us anxious and overwhelmed. So when I feel overwhelmed, I cut my screen time. I connect to myself. I connect to my friends. I bring in more something that nourishes me instead of draining my energy until I feel that my cup is full, maybe not fully, but at least half. And then I can go again and start seeing like, okay, what actually I need to do to, I don't know, whatever, move forward. But I would definitely pause, slow down, being kind on myself, and find moments in day, find practices that gives you strength and bring you more to yourself, other than looking for validation or external some kind of whatever success or whatever you're looking for. That it's just an illusion.
Nina, this has been an amazing interview. It's been so mind blowing. I learned so much from the interview. I
Thank
know that viewers all over the world watching this podcast episode will actually learn from a lot from this. I'm super happy that we had these conversations, and it's really 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 been a wonderful, a beautiful conversation. Actually, when I connected with you was actually the first time I knew that they had a mindfulness coach. I never knew that until they have now got to learn more, understand more of what
Yes,
you do,
please.
and
Hmm. Yeah.
hopefully we can connect again soon again for another interview. But this is an amazing interview. Thank you so much for.
Yeah. Can I just say one thing? Just again, for some reason we placing our attention and our energy on the outside world, but the thing is, those kind of like soft skills, how we call them, they're so powerful, and they're not so difficult or complicated to practice. And if you will implement a couple things that even something that I mentioned in this conversation, you will feel the difference. Just give it a chance and see how you feel.
Absolutely, absolutely. I will definitely do that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Nick.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Tara. It was a pleasure. Yeah. Have a beautiful day. Let's stay in touch.
Ciao.
Thank you. Bye bye.